Hello one and all, and welcome to... Can't use that intro, can I? Hello everyone, and welcome. Taking two. It's gonna be harder than I thought. As you have seen by now, I own a 2009 Subaru Impreza WRX STI, which will henceforth just be known as the STI. That's way too many words for me to say over and over and over again. Now, one thing you'll do well to note right off the bat is that my STI is 100% stock. Nothing has been done to it yet, and that's exactly the way I wanted to buy it because I want to be the one to do everything to it. Being that it is super stock, it makes 305 horsepower at the crank and 290 foot-pounds of torque out of a 2.5 liter flat 4 turbocharged engine to a all-wheel drive system. But you already knew that because everybody knows everything about this car already. So if everybody already knows everything about this car, why am I bothering to make this video? Well, I am making it because I want to give my impression on the car. I've owned it for going on 9 or 10 months, probably closer to 10 at this point. I bought it secondhand, and I love it. There is very few bad things I can say about it, but there are bad things I can say about it. But those bad things are going to have to wait, because I'm going to save that for a totally separate video and do a vehicle virgin style 5 things I hate about the Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Now, one reason that I bought my STI that I will always come back to in every video about why I bought it, why I like it, why I love it, is the infinite amount of practicality in an STI hatchback. As long as we're not talking about fuel efficiency. Now, the STI hatchback has lots of space in it. Well, for my family, it does. It is me, my girlfriend, my dog, and my son, and there is plenty of room for us all to fit in here. We've actually taken her parents, got 5 people in here on a trip to Dorney Park, and it worked perfectly fine. Everybody had some baggage in the back too. It was very nice. One of the more practical applications is the all-weather, all-terrain, any surface, no problem traction that the Subaru all-wheel drive system does give. Now, you could drive this in the summer on some nice, hot, sticky roads. Obviously, it is a sports car. Well, I take that back. It's not a sports car. It's a performance hatchback, a hot hatch. Now, for the cold months, here in Pennsylvania, we do get a lot of snow, a lot of ice. The city tries to keep up with it, but there's no keeping up with Mother Nature sometimes. So it is always nice to rely on the Subaru's all-wheel drive system. It does well in the snow, it does well in the ice, always does better with winter tires, which you should get, but I honestly don't have. I just run a pair of ultra-high performance all-season tires, which I'm hoping to change this year, get some winter tires for the winter and some summer tires when things start to warm back up. Drop a comment down below the video on what kind of tires you think I should get. If you have any experience with Subarus or even other cars with similar sized wheels, what tires should I get for really good usage and grip in the snow and the cold months? Now, how does the STI handle? The STI handles extremely well. It is not the sharpest thing I've driven. I've driven an Evo, so that's probably the sharpest, most scalpel-like thing I've driven, that you turn the wheel, you get exactly what you expected instantly. But I do not hate the STI steering feel, steering amount, steering ratio, steering rack. Actually, like, since this is a review, let's talk about power delivery. Now, as most of you may know, or some of you don't know, which is why I'm saying it, the STI has incredibly unlinear power delivery. It is completely dead. There's nothing happening when you throw the accelerator down below 3,000 RPM. You get a little grunt, you get a little noise, but there's nothing going on. Then the turbo spools the longer you have your foot down, and at about 3,500 you get a nice little push to your seat, and at 4,000 you are actually going the way you would expect a $40,000 performance-oriented car with such a cheesy interior to go. And trust me, it goes. Now, launching the STI is not an easy process, but not a particularly difficult one. You get your revs going up to about 3,500, 4,000 as far as I've seen, and you let off the clutch quickly and evenly, and that gives you the best acceleration off a stop. And as I've tested just by doing these kind of videos, seeing when I started, when the light turns green, and then when I hit 60, always going on the highway, don't speed in residential areas. I've gotten from 0 to 60 on my all-season tires and a pretty old car in about 5.3 seconds. Now that could be better, and it will be better when I start modifying it, and when I get better at doing a clutch dump, which makes me grit my teeth. That 0 to 60 time will also improve with some proper summer tires. Like I said, I run all season tires, and I probably shouldn't. And honestly, the reason I do is because I bought them on the car. It's what came with the car, and I did not have a problem with it. And I still theoretically don't. I just know it could be better. Yeah, it's a bumpy road. So, where does the STI lack in handling? The STI lacks in two specific areas. One is terminal and criminal understeer when you are on power going around a turn. For those of you who don't know what understeer is the force that pushes the nose of your car away from the center of the turn. So if you're going right, that's what pushes the nose of the car out to the left, and vice versa. And the second biggest problem with this car in terms of handling is that she is a big girl. The STI hatchback for 2009 weighs right around 3,400 pounds, and that's empty. And I have some stuff in here. I'm not particularly a thin trimmed guy, and this car, you can feel it takes a lot of inertia. Well, it takes a lot of momentum to get it going in one direction or the other. Now, I mentioned the car is heavy. That is not the worst thing in the world. It's a bad thing, and it's definitely the first thing to improve when you want to start using your car on track applications, or you want to improve your power. An easy way to do that is just taking out weight, because your power to weight ratio goes up the more weight you remove. But how adequate is power for the Subaru STI, being how heavy it is? In my opinion, it is more than I need. Yeah, honestly, I could have gotten something slower. I've owned slower things, as well as my Saturn Ion Redline, which was a 2-liter supercharged engine, front-wheel drive only, and that was about as quick as I needed. But the STI takes it to a slightly higher level, and you cannot take full advantage of this car on normal public streets. You cannot drive 10/10ths without literally dying or going to jail. How is downshifting? Because that's something you're going to want to do a lot in stick shift vehicles. Downshifting, though I want to say pretty good at it. This is my third stick shift car. It is smooth and easy and nice and relaxed, and you can go straight through the gears, bumping them down. It's easy to match the revs. It's easy to do heel toe if you're really trying to get somewhere, let's say rapidly. Now this car, as I just said, does suffer a lot of turbo lag, which is the time difference between when you put your foot down, nothing, there's something, and when the power actually kicks in. Now, turbo lag is not fantastic if you're trying to go on a track, if you're trying to put down fast laps, but it is fun. I'm gonna go out there and say it. I've owned a supercharged car, and the instantaneousness of it is fantastic. You put your foot down, you're getting all the power that the car can make at that RPM, and it's fun, it's enjoyable, but just throwing the accelerator down and waiting, and then getting thrust back in your seat is a experience like none other, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. The STI is not in any way, shape, or form a hidden performance vehicle. It's not something that looks mega subtle. I do think the hatchback looks far more subtle than the sedan with that giant wing on it, but you will get tried to race by everyone. And I mean everyone. I mean Civics with a fart can. I've had some Mini Coopers try to race me. Cooper S's, I will say that. But the most common thing, at least in my area, is Altimas with the 3.5 liter V6. They always want to race me, and I typically don't, because I don't want to damage my car, I don't want to crash into anything, I don't want to put other people on the road in danger, because you should never go stupid fast in an area where you could hurt somebody else. So there is an atmosphere of let's race in this car that is omnipresent, but I do not act on those urges, and I encourage you not to unless you are in a safe and guaranteed contained environment. In addition to being good in the winter, it is good anytime I want to go on dusty asphalt, even dirt, even sometimes muddy roads. We actually drove this car to a national park, and they had a flood advisory. One of their bridges that the cars were meant to go over was under about 6 or 7 inches of water, which I know is not too impressive. I probably could have done that in my old Saturn, but it was extremely reassuring that I had the STI, and I felt very safe and capable to get over any obstacle. I didn't even blink twice seeing that something went wrong and that I was coming up to it. So, what are my plans for this car review channel? Well, I'm planning on reviewing my car, some of my friends' cars who have awesome cars, some of my family's cars, just because I want the experience, making some good videos, no matter what the automobile is. I want to do a build of this car, a daily build. So I'm probably going to go to Cobb Stage 2. I will be doing all the work myself. I'll post videos of me jacking it up in the garage, changing exhausts, everything. But it does still have to be a daily driven car, because I can't leave this in a garage. So I'm thinking, as far as the build is concerned, I am going to do a Cobb Stage 2 or Stage 3. I might even just do it progressively, Stage 1, Stage 1 Plus, Stage 2, Stage 2 Plus, and then Stage 3. I don't know if I'm going to go E85, just because it doesn't really exist here at all. Another large, and probably the basis of my channel, is going to be these kind of car reviews. I take my friends' cars, we talk about what it's like to really live with them, and then we whip them around some back roads a little bit, get some video out the other side of the camera. I will be doing a video on this car, a couple videos, about 5 things I love, maybe 10 things I love, maybe 40 things I love. There's so much to love about this car. A handful of things I don't like in a different video, very vehicle virgin style. I'm also hoping to get into some autocross events, using this car in its stock form, and then on and on and on as I do modifications and improvements, see how my times improve, see how handling, responsiveness, everything improves with modifications. So I'm not quite sure what events are available around here, or if I'll have to do some traveling to get to some autocross events, but I am absolutely interested in doing it. Now this is going to be hopefully the first of many reviews that I do. If any of you live in the ABE, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton area, please contact me. Message me on YouTube. Leave a comment down there. I will read all the comments every time, even the mean ones. And I hope to meet up with you. We'll drive some cars, we'll review some videos, go on a cruise or two. And you can always catch me at the Lehigh Valley Cars and Coffee. I go to everyone all the time. I walk around the entire time. My girlfriend hates it, but that is what I do. So, I don't have any fancy name for my channel yet. I don't have a light gravity exit, but hey, WRX. But I do have to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Maybe even subscribe to my channel. No, definitely subscribe to my channel, because I will be pumping out content, and I will be pumping out content I want to see. So I hope that's stuff that you want to see too. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Now I'd like to do a super quick thanks to YouTubers that have inspired me to make these kind of videos. I want to be like them when I grow up. Sam from Seen Through Glass, Paul from Supercars of London, the whole Car Throttle team, fantastic. Alex and Ethan, I love the videos, always appreciate them. Vehicle Virgins, obviously. Eddie and Parker, we need to have a burrito eating contest because us big boys got to keep it up. And there's so many more. Matt Farah from The Smoking Tire. I follow so many YouTube people, and I probably spend much more time than I should watching car reviews and automotive journalists on YouTube at 11:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning than I realistically should. But create content, and the people will watch.